I'm Dr. Michael Dorsey, the Senior Program Officer for Sustainability at the U.S. National Academies of Sciences, and I've been a member of the Club of Rome for over a decade, and I'm here at the annual meeting to think about where we're going in terms of sustainability, in terms of thinking about larger economic and development problems that face the world and that really present substantial challenges for us as society, as policymakers, as decision makers. Well, I think we are in a particular predicament at the moment. We have the new results of the elections in the United States that present a particularly controversial candidate. That candidate actually isn't particularly surprising. It marks a culmination of right-leaning activities in the United States, which is on track with activities that you see around the world, particularly in the West and Europe, the rise of right-wing attitudes and sensibilities. Those sensibilities, I think, are largely, even though they're on the rise and have been on the rise for the past sort of decade plus, they represent a kind of an archaic look back towards the 20th century. They're out of step with technological, political, economic realities. They're out of step with where we need to be in terms of delivering sustainability. They aren't at all coherent with 21st century ideas, and particularly in terms of energy, in terms of political economy. The reality of the 21st century is really about renewable energy. The reality of the 21st century is about a new political economy that really puts business in relationship with governance and oversight, in relationship with politics. And that politics really, I think, delivers the kind of sustainability that we need for the environment, for public health, and for social welfare. Most people might believe incorrectly that the world is one big democratic sort of planet, as it were. The reality is that the norm on the planet is not democratic at all. So really, when we recognize that fact, that democracy is in the minority at the planetary level, we really shine a bright light on the problem of newly emerging sort of anti-democratic movements like we just saw in the United States, like we're seeing across Europe. And I think we really have to think about what that means for delivering on sustainability, delivering on the green economy, delivering on things that benefit not just the environment but our welfare and our children's welfare going forward. Another hat that I wear is I sit on the board of the national board of something called the Sierra Club, which is one of the largest and oldest environmental groups in the United States. And we believe that really fundamental for change is the increasing and inclusive involvement of citizens and being not just political in terms of casting votes, but also being political in making decisions and setting decisions for themselves, for their communities, and as a result for the country, for the planet, certainly the region. And I think that really what we need to see going forward is opening up the ways in which people can participate in political processes, and really in so doing, that opens up the space for delivering on sustainability. That opens up the space for getting outside of the old 20th century fossil fuel economy. That opens up the space for really delivering on green energy. That opens up the space for delivering on renewables. The fact is that the old 21st century, or rather the old 20th century energies, they've got one foot in the graveyard and another foot on a banana peel. Financially, the largest coal companies on earth have gone out of business. Peabody Coal went out of business 2 months ago. The largest oil companies are seeing the first time in history, in 2015, we saw more investments in renewables worldwide than we saw in fossil fuels. That's the first time that has ever happened in the state of humanity so far. And that's only going to continue because the price of renewables is falling and the economies of scale of the investments in rollouts in renewables is only growing. And so that's going to drive shifts. But in order to sustain that, we need the sort of political infrastructure that's really rooted and founded on people's participation in the political process, and we've got to increase that. We've got to work towards broadening that. We're going to have to not just tolerate this current administration, we're going to have to work towards pushing it back and then delivering on the desires that really people have clearly expressed in terms of their vote.